I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
I've accumulated some scribbles on my pad. And
that happens.
Yeah, that's what it's for. And I think a little bit of housekeeping might need to be done. Possibly a few little news items, possibly. And there's been an interesting conversation occur at this end, so might save that one till last.
Oh, I think we need to explore that. Yes.
Okay. Right. First off, I'm not going to dwell on this because I can imagine you're going to go glazed over within seconds. But at the time of recording, there's been quite a monumental happening in the world of Dakar, which
okay, there's lots of sand involved with that, isn't there?
Yep, you know the one. You've got it. You're all over this.
I'm all over that. Yeah,
yeah. At the time of recording, that is currently happening.
Yes.
But today, there's been a first.
Oh, right.
We had a first. There's Danilo Petrucci.
I'm sorry?
He former MotoGP rider and MotoGP winner.
Okay, that was just a collection of vowels.
He's Italian, funnily enough.
Oh, that'd be why then.
Yes. Yeah. He's become the first former MotoGP rider to win a Dakar stage.
Oh, okay.
Which, in terms of disciplines, they're quite different.
I was going to say that's quite a stretch, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I just thought he should get a doff of the cap because the Dakar is possibly the most dangerous thing you can do on wheels.
It is, yes, on any number of wheels. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and he's only got 2 wheels, so that's probably the most dangerous of all.
I would think. Yeah.
Yes. So my brief intro there was a doff of the cap to Mr. Petrucci because he's done extremely well there, and he's a very likeable chap as well.
That does help.
Yes,
that does.
Not a bell end, so that gives him extra points. So there we go. I got the motorsport out the way. We can move on to normality for you now.
Good, noted, done.
Good, right. Now this is right up your street because you are the bringer of all the knowledge. This week, in various news outlets and silly notifications on my phone, there appears to have been a bit of an influx in DB5 news, and I mean that DB5.
Oh, the DB5 news.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Has our friend Mr. Marinello been digging?
It would appear so. From what I've read so far, the trouble is all of the news articles that have been bonged to my phone have been all of that clickbait nonsense.
Yeah, but there's nothing really new. Yeah.
No. However, if you read between the lines, they're all saying roughly the same thing, and it can be traced back to, I think, a Daily Telegraph article.
Okay.
Where it's saying that he has in fact found it and is now at the point of giving the possessor the opportunity to hand it over.
Right. Okay, because he on the research I did, which was obviously a little while ago now, he suspected where it might be because he'd been given a tip.
Yes.
But he had not at that point confirmed its existence.
That's right. So this is it's suggesting that he's found it.
He's moved on to phase 2 then.
Yes. And like I said, it seems to be that he knows who's in possession and has made it available to them to hand it over, rather than naming and shaming.
Well, he said that would be his first step. That's what he does in these cases. Yes, he contacts them and says, "Now look here."
Yes, but I can't.
How do you want this to go?
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I sort of mentioned it in the fact that it's all this nonsense websites reporting it, but they all seem to be saying it in the same way, and it's just that, like you say, it's that another little step on. And
he definitely wasn't saying that before,
Mm.
so that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I think I think there may have been developments, but it would be nice to see it on a news outlet that we got a bit of faith in.
Yeah, I would treat that with a little bit of
there might be a pinch of salt.
Yeah, but it's interesting that that's popped out, that he may have located it and confirmed its existence. I mean, that would be very exciting if it, if we know it really does still exist.
Yeah, that would be very cool, especially in the 60th anniversary year of Bond as well.
Oh,
what a treat!
All the fanfare. Wouldn't that be perfect? Yes, I hadn't thought of that.
Goodness
the
me.
problem they're going to have, though, I thought about this after we did our epic episode a while ago. The problem, partly for him, but also for the person who has it, if this thing resurfaces, the world is going to want to know where it's been.
Yes.
Every internet sleuth, every amateur detective is going to want to know where it's been. They're going to want to start digging into it. As much as he might preserve the individual's anonymity, there's going to be a hell of a lot of interest in where it's been for the last 50 years.
There is. I mean, I suppose... I forget.
Well, not 50 years, 1980.
Marinello, something like that.
Christopher Marinello, yeah.
That's them. I suppose it's ensuring that it's returned and that the current possessor isn't subject to colossal legal issues.
If that is the agreement that's eventually reached, yes.
I would assume
if they don't cooperate with him, then he won't ensure that.
No, not at all. No. So, if assuming cooperation occurs, he will probably end it amicably. Maybe some money will change hands, but all will be well.
Maybe. Yeah.
But once his part is played, like you say, the naming and shaming will still go on, while the person who has possession of it may not be dealt with in legal fashion. The internet will go at him or her.
They will. The world is going to want to know where this thing has been since 1997, and Marinello may well protect him and not go to law enforcement. I mean, I'm not sure law enforcement were ever particularly bothered, to be honest, even at the time.
Oh, they couldn't give a toss. We said that before. This is rich people doing naughty things about something that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, they only looked into it for a matter of weeks, really. They're really not fussed.
That's it.
However, the insurance company will want it back because it's worth a damn sight more than the 4.2 million that they paid the owner for.
That's right, yes. They're out of pocket for something that now is back in existence and technically is theirs, really?
It is, yes, absolutely. It does belong to the insurance company, or I don't think the same insurance company exists anymore, but I think they were bought and then bought again. So I mean, I don't know which insurance company it now would be.
Right, okay.
But somebody will officially own the title to it. And it is it is an insurance company. So, but the initial payout was 4.2 million. I mean, it's anybody's guess what it would be worth now if it went to auction, as we said. So they're pretty much guaranteed a whacking great profit on it.
Yes. Yes. It's going to go for a lot of money, assuming they put it up for sale, obviously.
Assuming it goes up for sale. I mean, the insurance company may decide to keep it, I suppose. Whether they can do that, I don't quite know how that would work.
I mean, what's to stop them being the owners and possessors of it and then just farming it out to museums?
Yeah, or hand it over to the Bond in Motion collection and say, here you go, take this around.
That's it. It's in.
They might. Who knows?
It's going to be in good hands. It's a glorious business asset.
Oh, isn't it? Just absolutely. Yes, that's going to look very nice on the balance sheet.
Yeah,
it's true. Who knows what will happen if it does come to light from that point of view? There'll be all sorts of legal shenanigans to sort out. But as you say, regardless of what Mr. Marinello agrees and carries out to the best of his ability, like you say, the internet is going to want to know where this thing's been.
Yeah, and the internet will find out. I'm willing to bet the internet is the reason that it's been pinpointed to that region of the world anyway.
Assuming that is indeed the case, yes.
Yeah,
assuming it is where he thought it was.
Yeah, the articles that I've been reading suggest it is where he thought it was.
I think Dubai was his best guess.
Yeah,
but it may have been in other areas, sort of in that region. But
yes, there's a reasonable amount of potential.
It's funny, isn't it? Because if you'd have had to guess where it might have been, you'd probably have said Dubai.
Yes,
it's not a surprise that.
No, we'll have the Middle East, and we'll just pop a pin in it and go, yeah, there.
Yeah, it'll be there. Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Well, let's hope that develops a bit further. But I suspect it'll be like this article. It'll sort of just be in the wind for a while.
Yeah, I would have thought so. It's going to be
all of a sudden it's going to break on mainstream media. Boom, there it is.
Yep.
And it's going to be shining on somebody's showroom floor, and yeah, there it is.
That's what a treat. That's going to be a real New Year's treat, that, isn't it? Because, well, we've had crap 2 years, so let's have a.
Be nice. And as you say, in the 60th anniversary of the Bond film series, wouldn't that be lovely for it to come back to light? And you need to whiz it over to Aston Martin Works, and if it's still got those awful gadgets on it,
yeah,
they need to be coming off it.
Yeah. Yeah, get
some proper ones going back on.
Yeah, the boys and girls who are working on the continuation models, get them involved.
They'll have a set of gadgets that can go on it. Yeah, absolutely, definitely. That should happen. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to need a rattle can or two as well, I'd imagine. So
I would think, and it's not original anyway. I mean, the poor thing has been hacked about so much. There's no originality to preserve.
As long as they leave the side repeaters on, I'm happy.
Oh yeah, they need.
Don't take those off.
I think they're about the only original bit left on it.
Yeah, don't take them off. That's fine.
No, leave those. Yeah, and then we'll know.
But
fingers crossed. Then that completely passed me by. I hadn't seen that at all.
Okay, so that's this. Well, hopefully so. Hopefully,
fingers crossed.
Hopefully, it's not all bollocks. But the fact that a lot of people are saying the same thing, and they're not just copying and pasting the same text either.
Because that does happen.
It does. It does appear that that same thing is happening with it has been found and someone's been given an opportunity. That's very good. So
wherever that ends up, we're going to have to go and see it.
But yeah. I have no problem with this.
That's just yes. We'll just as read. Yes.
Yeah. If they could send it over to Aston Martin to fix it up, and then put it on show in this country, that'd be really handy to begin with.
That would be useful for it to be in the UK. Yes. Absolutely. Given that going anywhere else is still a little tricky. Yes.
Planes are a bit of a sore subject at the moment, aren't they?
Let's not do that.
No, much like tennis players in Australia. Oh God!
Can of worms.
Oh, I'm saying nothing.
No.
Right. Okay. So I move it swiftly on.
I think you should now you've brought that up. Yes. Spoiled it now.
Yeah, but they dealt with him, so it's good.
So they did.
Electric car news.
I'm all over that.
Yeah, I thought you would be. A brand that isn't strictly car related this week has showcased their second concept, if I'm not mistaken, and that is Sony Mobility. They've previously done their sort of saloon or coupe, as they were calling it, the Vision S01.
Yes,
which just cracking looking thing.
Yeah, it is.
And it really needs to be made pronto. And the only reason I mention it, I mean, as much as it pains me, is the one that they released this week, or showcased this week, was the Vision S02, which is, I dread to say it, but the SUV version, which will probably sell more than the bloody saloon.
Yeah, sadly. Yeah.
So But I think someone like that have got enough money to really have a little go in the car market, haven't they?
If they want to. It's been rumored for a while that Sony were going to have a crack. There was word of it a few years ago, that they were gonna get into it. But as you say, sadly, the SUV, if they want to sell volume, is probably what they're going to have to do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I hope they do that saloon / coupe as they
I do. I quite like that. I think it's a very neat design. There's sort of, for me, there's touches of Model 3 to it. There's touches of Polestar 2 to it. I think it's a very well balanced, smart looking little thing, as kind of you would expect from Sony, really. They know their way around a bit of a design, and I think it's a really smart looking thing.
As long as it's not enormous.
Yeah, that is a risk, isn't it?
We've touched on that with various topics, but just don't make it too big.
Well, we recently had a gander at a Kia EV6, didn't we? And both our initial reactions were, bloody hell, that's big.
I thought
it was a little hatchback. It's enormous.
It is big. It just needs reducing. I don't know. Take 20% off it, and it becomes a big estate car.
I thought, which is what I thought it was, and that's what it looks like in the pictures. But you get up close to it, you think, bloody hell, this thing's a Range Rover.
Yeah.
It's
you're
huge.
not parking that anywhere.
No, and the Hyundai Ioniq 5 is similar. That's much bigger than you think it is. Yeah. Again, in the pictures, you think it's like a Golf. It's not. It's massive.
But the weird thing is, the reason it deceives us is we said this about the Kia when we were stood next to it. Everything is in proportion.
Yeah.
It's just really big.
No, I think it's a really good looking car.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be well built because Kias are these days. I really like it. It's just like you say, you need to stick it on the photocopier and just do minus 20% and just bring it down a little bit.
But I did make the comment of going, that's the 6. I'd be interested to see what the 5 is going to be.
Yes, well, we haven't seen
that'll be it. That just similar.
Might be the right size. Yeah.
That might be the right size for our roads.
Yes.
Oh, goodness me. But yeah,
presumably the one's going to be a pedal car because that's going to be tiny.
I don't know. Let's see how these number systems work, because it could be the way that they put a mini badge on that Countryman thing and go, well, that's just enormous.
That wasn't. I hate that.
Yeah, it's dreadful.
It's dreadful. There's no business putting a mini badge on that.
No. But well, there's plenty of them on the road.
It's been very big seller. Yeah.
What a shame.
Yeah.
But okay,
that's very good. That's very good. The Sony offering there. Yeah. I like that.
The fact that they're building a range, and I think I should have actually looked this up, but the Vision S01, the saloon one, am I right in thinking that was unveiled last January? Same sort of time as we're
you may well be right. I would need to check back through my fully charged episodes, but
because
I'm right. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, well, if they're sort of doing these concepts one a year and going, well, actually, we're building up a range and we're going to do it. Yeah, I mean,
Sony is a name you trust, isn't it?
It is, and you think, what are we thinking back to late 93, when Sony, obviously, they're fine for their TVs and their stereos, but then they dipped the toe in the games console market, which had a rocky. The late 80s, early 90s saw a lot of people dipping their toe in it, and Sony
everyone had to go at that.
Yeah, Sony arrived and went, "This is how it's done, boys."
Yes.
And have not looked back since. So
changed the market.
Yeah, so I'm wondering whether something could occur here.
Every so often, in most industries, a manufacturer will come out with something so different to what has gone before, it changes the whole direction of the industry. We see it in cars occasionally. Doesn't happen often in the car industry, but when it does, Yeah, maybe. I think certainly when it comes to electric cars, they're going to have to come up with something that Tesla isn't already doing. But they could, if anyone could.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because a lot of again poor research on my part, but in Japan there is a good history of manufacturers or brands or factories joining up to make an impressive product.
Yeah,
and there's no shortage of impressive companies in Japan for Sony to have a little partner up with.
That and get your battery and motor tech sorted. Yeah,
a bit of battery motor tech, bit of car production line know-how, and you could end up with quite the thing.
Yeah,
because you think, they've probably got a bit of software and a bit of entertainment. You can imagine the entertainment system.
Oh, that'll be fine. Yes.
In a Sony car, you're gonna be in good hands, and I bet they'll give you some nice buttons.
Some lovely buttons and some gorgeous sounding speakers.
Yeah, so that's it.
Your banging tunes are going to be fantastic in there.
Oh yes, that's it. Yeah, you'll be fine. So
yeah,
watch this space on that.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
that's going to be interesting. Yeah, like you say, they're starting a little bit from behind, but they could. Yeah, they could come out in front quite easily, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's it. May I continue with electric car news?
You certainly can. Yes.
You and I have complained about Mercedes. Not so much about the technology, more about the end product being a lardy turd.
Yeah, the design language is a bit off, isn't it? Shall we say? The underlying tech might be good, but it's not a looker.
No. I personally am about to say that's just changed, assuming this makes it to production.
I think I know the car you're about to mention, because this bit of news did not pass me by.
No, I assume you're on about the Vision EQXX.
I certainly am. Yes. Now that is quite a thing.
That'll do nicely, wouldn't it?
It's all going on with that, isn't it?
That's much better. Well done. But like we say, it's just concept at the moment, isn't it?
It is just concept. Yeah, I mean the tech that's in it, quite aside from how it looks, is impressive. They are claiming 1,000 kilometers on a single charge.
That's right. That's ballsy.
If they could achieve that, well, that's it for internal combustion, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, that really is. I mean, 500 plus mile range is. I mean, that's perfection, really, isn't it? That's it. That's there.
It is. I mean, Tesla are already kind of almost there with that. The Model S Plaid, I think, 400 and something miles.
That's right. Yeah.
Tesla are not far off the 500 mile threshold, but barrier, whatever you want to call it, that sort of tipping point. But 1,000 kilometers.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal. That is true. I mean, the term game changer gets used far too much these days. But that truly is.
That's it. That's the same as my car, roughly.
Yeah. Nobody could argue that is too limiting compared to a piston car.
No, and you think on a regular basis, before we were all locked down, obviously, a journey that I undertook several times a year was from here, where we live in North Devon, to Colchester, and pretty much door to door was 300 miles.
Yeah.
So if you were being utterly lazy in one of these, you wouldn't actually have to plug it in.
Not at all. No.
Leave fully charged, drive there, and drive home.
Yes, and plug it in when it's back on your driveway, and not think about it in between. Yeah.
Which, that's crazy.
Why would you then have anything else? Why would you ever have a piston car for long journeys then? If that's
no, that's it. I mean, I suppose that in the interim, the the only issue really is going to be the price of the car.
Well, of course, it will take a while. Yes,
Yeah.
clearly, yes.
Yeah,
It's not going to be cheap.
no.
No, indeed. But no, I did see that, and that is impressive on many levels.
That's it. Yeah. So, like you say, I mean, tech tremendous, but visually, bloody hell, well done.
Yeah, really nice. I mean, it's got an incredibly low drag coefficient. It's clearly the design is very, very led by aerodynamics.
Yes, and it's because it's the rear end puts you in mind of that McLaren Speedtail. The way that
indeed, yeah,
to reduce the drag and the low pressure, it's like, oh yes, lovely.
Yeah. It's all there, isn't it? Really, and the interior. Oh,
yeah, they've done well. I mean,
yeah,
and with the thing that makes you think that this might actually make it to production is they've not been too racy with the interior. It's lovely, but it's not spaceship.
It's not spaceship, and it's not too fanciful.
No.
I mean, the temptation with prototypes often is they'll just put all kinds of silly things on it that they'll never make, and they're doing it just because it's a prototype. They've resisted that temptation with this, I think.
Yes.
There's nothing particularly in there that makes you think, "Oh, come on, boys, you are never going to put that into production."
No, this is true. No, I know what you mean. It's
Yes.
yeah,
Don't be silly. We know you're not going to make that. Stop showing it to us. But there's nothing like that. And it's a very handsome thing. Yeah. The risk, of course, with all these things is that yes, they've made the prototype do it, but mass producing it is an entirely different thing. And I'm sure they've got years worth of problems to iron out before they make production.
Yeah, I'm assuming sensibly sort of 2025 maybe. That'd be actually
Yeah, I mean 2025 is going to be another one of those years where there's a sudden explosion onto the market, I think, because there's lots of manufacturers now talking about 2025.
Yeah, that's the one, isn't it?
But with the ban on the sale of piston cars, both in this country and in Europe, currently at 2030, they really want to have their ranges sorted out a few years ahead of that.
And I think Mercedes will stand a really good chance. I mean, because you've got Tesla doing fine, the Koreans doing fine, and shortly followed by Mercedes. I'd say.
I would say so. Yeah, BMW started strong, but they've kind of dropped the ball a bit.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not giving them any praise.
No. The padded cell that they currently using for a design studio is churning out some real quality items.
Yeah, what they need to do is just stop dropping acid during the lunch hour, and they'll be fine.
They really do.
My goodness.
Yeah, boys, look what I've drawn.
Oh. No, send them away. But but their friends down in Stuttgart are on it.
Oh, they're on it. They are on it. Yeah,
and I mean, I'm not discounting the stuff that Porsche doing because we praise what they're doing, but they're not as mass market as Mercedes.
No, they're not, and they're not trying to be.
No.
They will never sell as many Taycan as Mercedes would of this. No, certainly not.
And I think when it comes to sports cars, we'll point ourselves right at Porsche when it comes to electric ones. But for that German luxury, it looks like Mercedes are going to if they could do things like this, they're going to have it.
Yeah, and I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that because it's a good contrast to the Tesla Model S, which will probably be one of its main competitors.
Yeah.
The Model S, by the time this is released, probably will do as much range.
I would have thought so, yeah.
Yes, it will charge as quickly, if not quicker. But as you say, in terms of build quality and driving dynamics, I would say this is likely to be better.
Which is really nice to see because, I mean, the outgoing petrol stuff that they're making and diesel stuff that it's just toss.
Just a sea of dull, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, really, really dull. Yeah.
It's nice to see they're channeling their efforts into the new stuff.
That's sensible, isn't it? That's sensible. I mean, they're right at this stage to start abandoning the diesel stuff because there's no future in it now.
No.
And 2030 is going to come up awful quick.
Mm.
So they do need to be getting on with this stuff, otherwise they're going to find themselves not being able to sell any cars. So,
quite.
They're right to do that. Now, very impressive. We'll watch that space.
Yep.
As Elon Musk has said, it is easy to produce a prototype. Mass production is really hard. So,
well, from the people who gave us what's renowned as the first ever car, I think they stand a pretty good chance, don't they?
They stand a pretty good chance. They were one of the first manufacturers to bring diesel to the United States as well.
They were indeed, weren't they?
So yeah, they were. So
am I right in saying that when you bought a diesel car from them, they had a little handbook to show you where you could fill it up?
No, we've said that before. Yeah, they did. The first diesels that were, because there were hardly any diesel filling stations. So you got a little book in the glove compartment telling you where they all were. Yeah,
that's brilliant. I love that.
But that's like the charging, isn't it? I mean, now it's not a book in the glove compartment.
Everyone's got a great
big
zap map.
It's a great big screen with Google on it. Yeah. But yes, there's a little thing that will lead you to where you can get your fuel from. And they did that in the first models to America. Yeah, and diesel has never taken off in America the way it has elsewhere, but they were the first to pioneer it. Yeah, over there.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, as we've touched on before with the American stuff, the price of their fuel is a tad more agreeable than ours.
Yeah, quite. The economic reasons for going for diesel have never really been there in the States, so yeah, it's understandable.
It's always funny when you're skimming through car Twitter, an American moans about an increase in fuel price, and someone from the UK replies and goes, "Don't even start back in your box."
Yes. You haven't got a clue.
No. Now shut up and tweet about someone else.
Yes. They do get shut down quite quickly.
Yeah.
Rightly so. Yes.
Yes, that never works for them. But there we go.
That's very impressive. There was another little amusing EV story this week.
Go on then.
I don't know if you picked up on this regarding General Motors.
I think I know the one, but
have you seen this one? Yeah. They released their 2021 fourth quarter electric vehicle sales figures, and they shifted 26, not 26,000, 26.
Yes, it's not great. That
was made up of 25 Chevy Bolts and one GMC Hummer pickup. One. They've sold one.
Oh dear.
And this is the company that President Biden has said is leading the way in electric vehicle development. 26.
Oh my goodness me.
A figure that Elon Musk said was room for improvement.
It's not good, is it?
It's pathetic.
Oh,
there's no more depth to the story than that. It just gave me a giggle. That was.
And yeah, I'd seen that doing the rounds.
Yes.
It's just
26. I mean, they must have made more than that. Are they all just sitting in a warehouse somewhere? 26. This is General Motors.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not good.
It's awful.
It is. I don't know what's going on there.
No.
Yeah. This is bad.
Yeah. No, I saw that. A few people laughing at that on the internet. And yep, there you go. That's. And,
leading the way there. Well done, chaps.
Oops. Buggered it.
Yes. Yes.
Mind you, well, as you went through on the automotive flops episode, they could have cornered the market, and now look at them.
They could have. I know they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory there. Yeah, I know. Yeah, could have been Tesla. Could have been Tesla of the 90s.
Yeah.
Could have stopped Tesla ever needing to exist. Could have changed the next 30 years of car development, and yeah, they just threw it all away.
No, buggered it.
Morons. Absolute morons.
And yes, and those statistics that you quoted prove that.
Yes, quite. Here we are.
Nailed it. Yeah, there we go.
Floundering. I mean, Ford, although they only have 2 pure EVs on the market, the Mach-E and the F-150 Lightning, they can't make them fast enough. They're stepping up production of the F-150 Lightning, which is fantastic because electric pickup trucks is a very, very important market for America.
Hugely.
And the Ford F-150, I think I'm right to say, is the Ford F-150 the best-selling vehicle of all time?
I think you're right. Yeah,
I think that's not the best-selling car, best-selling vehicle.
That's it, because the Toyota Corolla always seems to win that.
It always seems to win that, yeah. But best-selling vehicle, I'm sure, is the Ford F-150.
Yeah. I assume that's still the case because they sell one every some seconds, isn't it?
It is. It's a ridiculous figure. Yeah, absolutely. There's one sold every 3 seconds or something like that. So if they can start pumping out the electric ones, which are obviously selling because they can't meet the demand, I think they didn't plan for quite what a success it was going to be, and they didn't build the capacity in for it. So they're trying to step up production of both of those.
I suppose the thing is, it's like, while there are certain parts of America that have embraced Tesla and the electric revolution, there are going to be parts of America that you can imagine in the boardroom at Ford going, "Are people going to buy this?"
Yeah, absolutely.
A massive unknown whether it was going to take off.
Yeah, how do we plan for this? Because we have nothing to base it on. It's not like, how many Focuses did we shift last year? Right, we'll make that number again this year.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's completely new ground, isn't it?
Yeah. But refreshing to see and hear.
Refreshing to see, and if they could get a few more models in the lineup, that would be grand. I know there's talk of an all-electric Transit, which again I think would be a very important vehicle.
Yeah, that'd be big over here, I think.
It would be huge. I mean, you could start getting EVs into the commercial sector, and I think you're onto a winner.
Yeah, and I think, well, particularly for this country, I think in years gone by, I would have said an electric Focus, but I think now it's going to be more electric Fiesta. Would be the one that sells.
Yeah, I think you could be right. Yeah, you could be right. I want to see an all-electric Fiesta ST.
That'll sell, won't it?
That'll shift. Absolutely. That's where it should be. There's been no talk of that.
No, I suppose their focus is elsewhere at the moment. No pun intended there.
No. Well, sadly, it's on pickup trucks and SUVs. But we'll see.
Oh, bloody hell. Stop putting a Mustang badge on it.
Yeah, that is a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, still bothers me. Still bothers me. Right.
If it would be, I'd be tempted to pry it off and stick a Ford badge on there.
Yeah, but they've tried to make the rear lights look like the real thing. They've got. Some people have bought it with the bloody stripes on it.
I know. Well, it's all available through the dealers. It's a shame because I think it's quite a good car. But it's
the wrong name, and it's adorned with tat. If people go in there and go, "Oh, yeah, I got to buy that."
Yeah, this is the problem, isn't it? This is the problem.
It's non-car people looking at it and going, "Oh, yeah, that's great if I put stripes on it." No, it's not. It's not. You look like a bellend.
You do. It's wrong. It's wrong. You shouldn't be doing it. It's not big and it's not clever. Yes.
But there we go. That's happening, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we've actually managed to have a news feature there.
I know this. I promise it won't happen again.
Okay. Current affairs on this podcast.
Oh my goodness me.
We're normally 6 months behind at least.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm going to release it anytime soon, so it'll be out of date by the time I've edited it.
Fair dues.
Right.
Good. Right.
Okay.
Guys, now look, come on, guys.
Come on. Let's get back on it. Yeah, focus.
Yes.
Here we go. You may remember some time ago, we had a topic proposed by a listener about the 3-car garage.
I recall it well, sir.
And the premise was you were allowed 3 cars, but the rules were that one must be a daily, one must be a weekend toy, and one must be a track car.
We had a lot of fun with this one.
We did. And we did it completely off the cuff.
Mm.
I sprung it on you, and you'd done no research, obviously, and I'd purposefully not done any research.
Mm-hmm.
But we did promise at the end of it that we would revisit it, and if we, with a sort of view of going, well, I've applied a lot more thought to it, and would we change our initial answers? And have you?
Yeah, I think I have.
But
not all of them.
Okay. I'm going to say the same. So
yes, we should cover briefly what we did choose.
Yes, good idea. Good idea. Yes. Yeah. So your selection was?
My selection was, for my practical daily, I ended up with a Ford Mondeo ST220 Estate.
Very good choice.
A car that we both love and know to be brilliant.
Yes.
For my track car, I chose a Mini John Cooper Works.
Yes, indeed.
And for my weekend toy, I chose a late model Lotus Esprit V8.
Oh, yes, you did. Yeah, very good choice.
Yep. Yes.
So, we'll tease it. Which of those are you going to change? You don't have to say anything yet, but
I am changing the practical daily.
Okay.
And the weekend toy.
Oh, I like to hear. No, bold choice changing that Mondeo.
Yeah.
Okay, so my choice in those was for the daily. I had a BMW E34 5 Series Touring.
E34, that was it. Yes, we said either a 525 or a 535. I believe.
Yeah, I think in my mind I'd settled on a 525. I wasn't greedy.
No, not excessive for the daily. No,
not at all. No, for the weekend toy, I'd chosen the Porsche Boxster Spider, the 987 variant, the original Boxster Spider.
That's right, you did. Yes.
Yeah. So very happy with that. And for the track car, I had a Porsche 911 964 Carrera RS, very specifically in Ruby Stone Red.
You were very specific about that. I recall that. Yes.
So that's non-negotiable for me.
Yes, you said it had to be that, or you're not interested.
Yes, that's it. Not interested in the slightest. No, not at all.
So, which of yours are you changing?
Interestingly, I am also changing the daily and the weekend toy.
Okay. So we're both content with our track munchers then.
Yes. I would adore a 964 Carrera RS at any point in my life, so I am not changing that because this is
for whatever purpose. Yes, fair enough. Yes.
So,
okay,
what are you changing your Mondeo for now that you've had a bit of time to think about it?
The Mondeo is wonderful, as we know, but I'm going somewhere very different indeed. It is still an estate car because I think we established that was the way we would.
It's the way forward.
Yeah. Yes, but I think the time has come for a car you are going to use on a daily basis to be a zero emissions vehicle. So I am going to choose for my practical daily, and I went round and round on this, but I am going to choose the Porsche Taycan Sport Turismo.
You see, the reason we didn't have that first time around is because it wasn't out then.
Because it didn't exist, exactly.
Yeah.
But now it very much does.
So that is, just to be clear, that is, we touched on it before because we spoke about it after it's released. That's the GTS, isn't it?
Correct. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, I would have one of those.
You're going to get no arguments from me on that because after we spoke about it when it was released at the LA show, I've done nothing but gush about that car.
Yeah, it is stunning. I mean, very different to the faithful old Mondeo, but I think it would be time to move that on and let's stop belching our diesel fumes all over the garden, and let's have a Taycan for every day. I think the time is right for a zero emissions vehicle to use every day. Not talking about the other two categories, but for every day, I think that's the way to go. And now that there actually is a proper estate car to choose from, I mean, there's the MG5 as well, but let's be honest. Wonderful vehicle, but yeah, if it comes down to those two, and we'd never set a budget for this.
No, this is pie in the sky. I tell you what, as well. While we probably won't see a Sport Turismo for a little while, I did the other day pass. When I say pass, I don't mean overtake. It would pass me coming the other way.
Yeah, there's not a lot of chance of that, is there? Let's be honest.
I passed a Taycan Turbo Cross Turismo.
Oh, nice!
Really cool.
Nice, yeah. I mean, one of those would be tempting, but I think the Sport Turismo is where it's at.
The Sport Turismo is just slightly more refined. While the plastic bits were far too obvious on that car when it drove past.
It doesn't need it. It doesn't need it. Because it's not really any high. I mean, it's still not an off-roader or anything, is it? So I don't.
No, you're just going to get stuck.
I'm confused as to why they feel the need to do both of them, to be honest.
It's a strange one, isn't it? But
clearly
people are buying it.
Well, clearly, so if they're making it, if people will sell it, so no, the other way around.
They'll
sell it if people will buy it. So yes, no, I think Sport Turismo for me, that is my new, that's my new practical daily.
Okay, well, and it's incredibly practical. All the things you can put in the back of that.
Oh, we load that fella up with all sorts in there. Yeah. I'm tempted if I need to do a tip run, maybe to just keep the Mondeo around the back somewhere. just in case.
No, I'm afraid you can't wuss out. If you're going to do a tip run, you've got to do it in the Porsche.
Okay, well, I did tip runs in my Model S, so yeah, fair enough.
The Model S was good though because it had that kind of rubber mat thing, didn't it, in the back?
Yes, but I put that in. It didn't come with it.
Okay. Well, just do the same.
I bought that separately. Yes,
they're bound to flog.
Well, they were bound to flog one for about $3,000. Yeah.
Oh, the fee involved. It would look lovely.
It'll look lovely, but it'll cost more than the wheels. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, that's I'm confident with that. I'm going to chop in the Mondeo for a Sport Turismo. I grant you that's not going to make much difference to the price.
No, you might need to find a little extra cash, but that's not a problem. Like we said, not an issue.
Budget didn't come into this discussion. No, indeed. So there I am. I'm keeping my Mini for my track days because I can't think of anything else that would do that job better for me. So we're keeping the Mini, and we're having a Sport Turismo for every day.
Good. Excellent choice. Right. So I'm changing my practical daily.
You are. So the Beamer's going.
The Beamer's going for something. Well, something quite different, but quite similar. It's a tricky one. I would like to change it for a very, very specific model of a very, very obscure car.
Okay, I like that.
And I would like to change it for a Nissan Stager 260 RS Ortec.
My word.
I'd like to change it for a Series 2 one of those, which were made between 98 and 2001. And the reason I want that very specific one is because it's got the glorious 2.6 litre twin turbo inline 6 engine which can be traced back to Skyline heritage.
Yes.
4-wheel drive, 5-speed manual.
Oh.
So
wow.
That's some weirdness in Japanese land.
I'm impressed with the level of weirdness in that. That's incredible. Yeah. I mean, I know you like your Jap stuff, but that's incredible.
That's not something you're going to see every day.
It certainly is not. No, absolutely. Wow, I think you're even possibly going to upstage my Taycan there.
It's entirely possible,
Yes.
but I just think that's going to be one of those ones where no one's going to know what the hell it is.
No, they're not.
And then you're gonna set off.
Yes.
And people are going to wonder what the hell happened.
Yeah, because you're just going to disappear, aren't you, for no readily apparent reason?
No, that's it.
That's incredible, but it's got a huge boot.
It's enormous.
It is.
Hell of a car.
Yeah, you could do anything with that. That's incredible. I have to say, I'm very impressed with that. I would never have thought of that. Well, best of luck finding one.
Well, we're in luck, you see. Unbeknownst to me, this is a recent discovery, actually. Where we live, we're not too far from Newton Abbot.
No, we're not.
And there is a wonderful little company down there that can accommodate your needs in these sort of things if you've got all the money in the world.
Or these weird Japanese sort of things.
Yeah, they're called Talk GT, and they specialize in the import of these obscure things.
Wow.
They will do you a personalized service door to door. I mean, for just colossal fees, I'd imagine. I
would imagine, yes.
They also have a showroom, so you can buy things that they've already imported.
Wow, I was unaware of this.
Yeah, they do wonderful things, and
that's possibly going to end up costing you more than the Taycan.
Yeah, there is a real sort of danger of that happening. But you are buying a bit of exclusivity there.
Oh, you certainly are. Yeah, you certainly are. You're not going to see another one of those in Tesco's car park. That's for sure.
No.
So,
yeah, that's a bit of me.
Wow. I have to say, I'm impressed with that. That's I really like the weirdness behind that. That's yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a bit of that.
Well done, sir. Well done, sir.
Yeah, so that's so it's just a tricky one because, like you said, the rarity is weird in the fact that I've gone so specifically for that Altec 260 RS version. That's even rare in Japan.
You're right.
Yeah,
that's even a weird thing over there. Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. What a thing.
Yeah, because I started off going in that. I was going down the Japanese route, and I initially sort of landed upon a kind of a Subaru Legacy Spec B, something like that, sort of mid to late 90s.
Yeah, solid choice.
Then I thought, well, why not have something just completely wild?
Why not? Indeed, that's incredible.
Yeah, basically,
I'm very impressed with that.
A Skyline in a state form.
It is. It's a Skyline state, isn't it? Effectively, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who've done kind of. I don't know how official these models are, but there are some that you can get, like an R34 estate.
Right. Well, you think that might be something someone's built?
Well, I think the ones I've seen, if they've been built, they've certainly been done with someone very, very high up helping.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah.
So but yeah, an estate car with an engine from a GTR, yes, please.
Yeah, you see, I do like that. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing, isn't it? Yeah, there's no way you would guess the performance from just looking at it.
No, you've got to be quite the car perv to know what that is.
Boring Japanese box, and then you're just going to disappear.
Yeah. Yeah, with pops, bangs, and whistles from all twin turbo goodness.
Oh, it's all over the place, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very nice. That's very nice.
Yeah, we'll have a bit of that. So
yes.
May I lead you on to what you would like for your new weekend toy?
Well, we commented last time that it was surprising, and I was a little disappointed in myself, if I'm honest, that
Yeah,
I hadn't chosen a Jaguar.
this is
So
true.
we're going to right that wrong
Okay,
at this point. Now, I think it's going to have an R badge on the boot.
seems fair.
The question is, which one?
That is,
Because
yeah.
we all like a Jaguar R. Pretty much of all the variants, really. Um, but we don't want to double up too much. So it's not going to be an XJR.
No, same as it's not going to be an XFR, I would say as well.
It's not going to be an XFR. I mean, I did for a while again reconsider the XFRS Sport Brake as the practical daily, but then I remembered about the Taycan, and yeah. So, so not going to be an XFR. So we're left with either an XKR,
Mhm.
an F Type R,
Yeah.
an S Type R.
Yeah.
Now, an XKR is very tempting.
Which sort of era are you looking at? Yeah.
I would be looking at the what they would call the Series 2, so there's the facelift model. So the early to mid noughties one.
The Callum design one.
The Callum one, yes, correct. Yes, the Callum one. Not the sort of E-type styled one.
No,
I like those. I've got a lot of time for those, but they are getting on a bit now, particularly on the interior. The interior of those has not aged well.
no, it's a sea of buttons and veneer.
It is, and it's all Ford switchgear in there and a Ford
Yeah.
radio, and yeah, it's. I've never been at that. I prefer the exterior of those, but it would have to be if it was one of those, it would have to be the convertible, because I find the coupe a little bit lumpy at the back.
Okay.
The boot's a bit too long. There's a bit too long at overhang. I think it's a little bit out of proportion. So wouldn't be one of those. So the Callum XKR, very tempting. Very tempting. But I've always been more drawn to a saloon than a coupe or a sports car. And going back to what you were just saying about your Stager, that the kind of wolf in sheep's clothing, I like that. I've always liked that about the XJR. But I think if I'm choosing a weekend toy on this time round, I think it's going to be an S-Type R.
An S-Type R. Well, we know that's something that's dear to your heart.
It is dear to my heart, and one may well appear on my driveway in reality at some point. But I like the fact that it looks like Grandad's Jag, and it's probably going to get dismissed as a bit pants by most people. But we know that under the bonnet is a supercharged 4.2 litre V8 producing 400 brake horsepower, and I think it's just it's a glorious thing. And yes, you might say, well, yeah, but it's a saloon car for a weekend toy. But that's what I like about it. That's what I like about it. And I think I would probably have more passion for that than I would for an XK.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of more Jaguar-y, if you know what I
mean. Yeah.
The whole sort of superchargedness is just a little bit tastier in the S-Type. I think I would have more fun with that.
Okay.
Because it does things like your Stagia. It does things that people don't expect it to.
That's it. It like you said, the visuals of it make you think it's just for old blokes.
Yeah, it's Grandad's Jag. Yeah, absolutely.
But it
so isn't.
But it will tear your face off.
It will tear your face off, absolutely. And there's a number of, I mean, it comes as standard with 400 brake horse, but you can get a lot more than that out of it.
Oh yeah, that supercharger is ripe for a bit of tweaking.
Yeah, I've seen some advertised that are pushing 500. I mean, people really stretch them. Not saying I would necessarily do that. I'm a great believer in originality, but yeah, it's a bit of a beast, and they use that engine for so long and in everything.
Yeah,
it's a solid lump. So yeah, I think I'd have an S-Type R, probably. Again, to keep it understated, probably in the metallic grey that they did.
It still manages to pull off a little bit of sinister at the same time with that.
Well, it does, because the R is lowered. It's on the bigger wheels. It's de-chromed. It's got the mesh grille at the front, the black surrounds around the headlights and things. I think they've really made a distinct improvement, but subtle improvements over the standard car.
Yeah, it's not obvious. And
No,
like you said, you'd like to preserve originality, but like you said about the supercharger tweaking to get a bit more power, that it doesn't hurt anything visually, does it?
oh, not at all. No, I think if you could, I wouldn't want to go silly with it, but I think if you could edge it up to say 425, 430 brake horse, and I've seen tuning kits that will do that. Just that little bit extra. I think you could, and it makes a wonderful noise.
Yeah, there's that thing about a supercharger, isn't it? You think, well,
Yeah,
is it a good noise? But it pleases you, doesn't it?
it does please you, and they make quite a racket on the S-Type. It's a really loud whine, and I like it a lot. It puts me in mind of the original, or not the original, but the whatever it was, the Mini Cooper S, because that did it as well.
Oh yeah.
That had a wonderful, because I've driven one of those back in the day, and that had the whine, and I don't know if this was deliberate, but it was wonderful. The whine from the supercharger was almost exactly the same as the whine you used to get from the old Mini's gearbox. It was great. It was very nostalgic.
That's quite impressive, isn't it?
Yes. However, yeah, I think weekend toy. I'm going to have an S-Type R.
S-Type R in grey metallic, yes.
And I don't care that it's a saloon car, because I think it's still enormous fun.
Yeah, well, you're not going to get me kicking off about it, are
you? You're on board with one of those. I know that. Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's brilliant. Yeah.
That's my new garage. It looks a bit different, but that's where I'm at. So you're changing your weekend toy as well.
I am, because I looked at the Boxster, and I remember when that Spider was released, and I was just elated with it. And I think that's why I picked it when we were doing it off the cuff. But now I've applied a bit of thought to it and remembered where we live, and just going, yes, there will be some days where you can use it with the lid off.
Yeah.
But there are going to be plenty of days where you're going to have to put on that ridiculous roof.
Yes, I did wonder about that, because it does look a bit crap.
It does look. I'm not too worried about the visuals. I'm just worried about trying to do it in a hurry without soaking the interior of my lovely Boxster.
So there you are. You're out on a country road, and the weather has changed as it does.
It has become inclement. Yes,
it has become inclement. There's some precipitation.
Yes,
and there you are in half a lay-by. You're probably standing in some cow excrement, and you're fumbling around with all those poppers and clips.
That's it.
The magic's gone, isn't it? Really,
it spoiled it a little. So, do you know what I did?
What'd you do?
I followed the same principles as the daily. I started skimming Japanese cars.
Oh, you're de-Germanizing your collection.
Not fully. That Porsche is not going anywhere.
No, I know that's a keeper.
That's a keeper. Now I've gone for something a bit different. Got something with a fixed roof.
That's a good choice for around here.
That is, yeah. So that's done well. I've picked a very specific model and variant of model again. Again, only available in Japan. And I've picked the Honda NSX Type S, which very specifically, I've not picked the Type S Zero because I want some creature comforts because it's the toy, not the track car.
It is. You do have to think of that. Yes, absolutely. So, this one's not going around the track. No.
So this is a bit of a racier version. Weight reduction was important.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to the point of going, well, it's got a lovely set of lightweight BBS wheels, lightweight spoiler, Recaro bucket seats, a lighter weight Momo steering wheel, titanium gear knob. But there are also performance tweaks as well because it's got stiffer front dampers, thicker rear anti-roll bars. It's something you can throw around. Because it's an earlier NSX as well. It's still got pop-ups.
Yes.
And yeah, I think that was peak NSX. I mean, like I said, they did do the Zero, which took it another step further.
Yeah, but as you say, that's not what you want this for.
No, but I'm thinking because that V6, that high revving, screaming engine, beautifully balanced car.
You're going to be very popular with those boys in Newton Abbot, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to keep them in business.
They're going to be all over you. Yes.
Yes. Can you please look after my hideously rare JDM only cars, please? Yes, sir. Bend over.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
If you'd like, sir would like to step into the office and unbuckle. Yes.
Goodness me. Can you imagine?
Oh, that's going to cost you. Yeah, that's going to set you back a long way. You're going to have to sell a couple of the kids to achieve this.
Yeah. But like we said, we don't have to worry about the budget. But
no, we didn't set a budget. That's not what this was about. But
there are going to be a lot of people who want to ride in that.
Well, as we said the first time, I think we're going to be having a bit of a lend in both directions.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
I think an incredibly rare NSX is going to please a lot of people.
You won't see another one.
No. I mean, very rarely will you see a normal NSX, let alone one that was never sent here for sale.
I would advise keeping a little bit of budget back for a fairly state-of-the-art alarm system on your garage.
Yes. Yeah, there are. It's a bit pricey, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Blimey.
So yeah, there we go. We've switched it up a bit, and
I'll say, yeah, we've totally changed the character of both garages.
Still both estates, though.
Still both estates.
That is the only way to daily a vehicle.
We've gone from we've gone from both choosing older, let's be honest, probably in reality slightly ropey vehicles. To yes.
Well, you've gone both. Cutting edge, and I've gone for just wallet ruiningly rare.
You have, yes. At least mine will have a warranty.
Yeah, you've got a dealer within a 50-mile radius.
I have. You haven't got a dealer in the same hemisphere.
Oh dear,
that's a bold choice. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go.
Wow, I think we can be proud of that.
I think so.
I think we may even come back to this one again. You know.
I don't know. I was so pleased when I came up with that stager.
Yeah, that would be tough to change. Yeah,
I don't think I could top that at the moment.
Well, you're not going to get another one, are you? So you need to look after that one.
Yeah, keep hold of that. Yeah, make sure it doesn't go rusty because it will. That's to be parked indoors in a very well temperature and humidity regulated room.
That is the only thing that makes me question it fitting into the practical daily category, because a practical daily you do need to be able to use without worrying about it quite so much, which is why we both chose older vehicles last time.
But I think if it were imported directly from Japan and then well cared for over here by me, then I think it stands a good chance.
Yeah, well, I'll be keeping an eye on that. You wouldn't let me keep the Mondeo around the back for tip runs, so you're not keeping that Beamer either.
No, that's fair. That's fair. No, the same rules apply.
Yes. Well done.
I did touch on at the beginning of the episode that there might be a little bit of news.
You mentioned a conversation that may have occurred.
That's right.
Mm.
And while we're on the topic of Japanese vehicles, there is one very, very close to me, as in with a few hundred meters of where I'm sat now, that is potentially for sale.
Oh.
And in its current state, might be in budget.
Blimey. Okay.
For a bit of
potentially huge news.
This is. We've had discussions indoors of should we make them an offer, because it's not formally for sale, but it could.
Right.
Be.
It's not on the market yet.
It's not on the market, but the current owner has bought a replacement and is undecided about what to do with the current car.
So you might have a go at nudging them in the direction of a decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with it being a Japanese car, there is a little. It would need a little work in terms of a bit of welding, but
okay.
not obscene amounts of money. Right. The car in question is a Honda Civic Type R.
Oh.
It's an EP3, a 2001 model.
Yeah.
And that's essentially the second Civic Type R, but based on the 7th generation Civic.
Yes, okay. It was the one before the one that had the big sort of glass wraparound lights and
that's it. Yes, because I
yes.
had one of those in non-Type R form as a company car. Yes.
Yeah.
Interestingly, and I say this very loosely, it's the JDM version. However, I'm going to caveat that because all EP3 Civics were made in Swindon, whether they were European market or Japanese market.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
So it was made in Swindon, sent to Japan. The reason it's worth noting that it's JDM, other than the fact that it's got a square number plate bracket, is the fact that they've the JDM ones had the fancier helical LSD, the red Recaro seats, it had a beefed up chassis to make it a little more track focused, slightly more powerful engine, and I do believe only came in the championship white color.
Well, you've done your research. I'll give you that. Oh
yeah. So this is
a proper hot hatch.
A proper hot hatch, and the areas where it needs a bit of attention at the moment, like I said, are rust, and it seems to be seatbelt mounting points.
Okay, so it is an area you would need to.
Yeah, you'd need to make sure that someone did it properly, and it's worth spending a few quid on it. But
yes, you don't want to. You can't afford to take a risk with that. No. So okay.
So yeah, I'm trying to gauge the market because what's not helping my bloody cause at the moment is just before Christmas. I read several articles of what should you buy, what's going to rocket in value.
No,
and I'm hoping he hasn't read these articles.
Yes, and he doesn't know what it might be worth.
Yes, it's not quite worth it yet, but it could be, and
could potentially be. That's very interesting.
And I'm a sucker for a Japanese car.
You do like a Japanese car. Would this be to replace your Mini?
No.
Okay.
No.
In addition to
that is the woman vehicle. She owns the Mini. This would be for me.
Okay, interesting, but not a replacement for the Volvo.
That would. I know it's bad becoming a 3-car family and none of them being electric, but if I can get it at the right price, I think this could be a very, very good purchase.
It'd be a shrewd move. Yes, that could go up quite a lot. Yes. So, interesting. Well, if you can get it for the right price and get the work done properly.
Yes, I have a man who can do that. Who's very good with a bit of welding.
You have a man who can do that. So yes, it'll come down to if the current owner is aware of market conditions at the moment. Yes.
And interestingly, actually, he has replaced it with a Civic Type R. He likes them.
Yeah, obviously. Yes.
And he has got, oh God, which variation is this? The FK8. The very latest one, not the one that's due to be introduced, the one that's just been phased out in this country.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, the one that's challenging on the looks, but by all accounts, quite a good car.
Quite good. Yeah.
And what he's done actually is because the looks are challenging, he's bought a black one, which is actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Because it hides a lot of the intricacies, and it just seeing it parked where it is, it looks really good in black because you lose the fussiness in the color because all of the sort of intakes and flares were black anyway.
So that works quite well. Yeah. I'm just having a quick spin on Auto Trader to see if I can. They actually don't. There are no 2001 ones for sale. But there are some 2002s.
Okay. Well, basically, anything between 2001 and 2003 is in the same sort of generation as the one he's got because they facelifted it in late 2003, I believe.
Okay. Well, we seem to be ranging from between, say, between 3 and $9,000 really is about where it's at.
Yeah, but you got to think those ones will be, as much as it pains me to say it, it's a little bit dealerish, taxed and tested. This one does not have an MOT.
Absolutely, yeah,
because
absolutely.
It does need that work doing.
It does need that work doing. Do you know what the mileage is?
I did look it up. I can't remember. I did. It wasn't galactic or anything daft. It was average for its age because he was daily.
Most of the Royal Fair News, yeah. Most of the ones here seem to have done about 150,000.
Oh, it was less.
Because that's the thing about it, isn't it? It's a very usable car. So yeah. So okay. So say. Yeah, the higher mileage ones that maybe got a few bits, starting around 3. That one needs some welding. Yeah, you could get yourself down a bit there, couldn't you? Yeah,
I reckon there's a bit of wiggle room there.
Could be a deal to be done. Nice, easy solution for him.
Yeah, I suppose it depends how much he needs a bit of cash, really.
Yes, and if he is aware of what they might do. You said he hasn't actually decided what to do with it yet.
He hasn't actually decided what to do. He clearly likes a hot hatch, but he's not a monumental car guy by any stretch.
Okay.
He just likes the drive and has settled in on Civic Type Rs.
Oh no. Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
I mean, the drivel that you and I talk, he would not be up for that.
He's not one of our listeners, right?
No. Okay. Well, I've bloody hope not. I better edit that bit just in case he is.
You better add, and you take that out. Yeah,
I better take this whole bloody thing out because
I'm not sure you can publish this until you bought it. You didn't think of that.
Oh bollocks!
We've given figures and everything.
Oh no, it's fine. It's. Oh no, but yeah, let's assume that he doesn't listen. So that's a potential right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, keep me posted on that one, sir.
I will. There's going to be some feelers out later this week. I'm going to
okay,
because it's a friend of Kaylee's, and it's kind of she can bring it up gently with his other half, and she can nudge him to sell it because she's fed up with it being on the driveway, I believe.
Ah, okay. So she's keen for it to go.
Yeah.
That'll help.
Yeah. So this bit of nudging, and I don't care about slinging it on my driveway. Not a problem.
Oh, you'll make that work. Yes.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, you'll find a way.
Yeah, we'll exchange some cash. I'll pop it on my driveway instead, and then I'll get some investigations about some welding because I know he got a quote for the welding, but without naming names, he picked a garage that I would not have.
Right.
And yes, so I'm fairly confident that who I would use to do it would charge a much more sensible amount that would not cause you to fall over.
That's good. Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
you end up with a solid vehicle.
yeah, a good MOT pass, and I just think it would be one of those things where you go, right, let's have a look at what it failed on, and let's just get it all done now.
Yeah, just get it sorted once and for all.
Yeah, because as I recall, it was a little while when I looked it up, but obviously the welding was the biggest issue, but everything else was quite trivial and could be dealt with.
Okay.
And it was stuff like consumables. Maybe you could do with some brake pads, possibly discs, some tires.
Okay. Yeah.
And you think, and with it being the age of car that it is, the wheels aren't enormous. I even looked it up, and 4 Michelin Pilot Sport 4s was not obscene.
Okay.
They were sub 100 per corner for that tire.
Okay, that's not bad.
That's not really nice tire. That's
worth it on a performance car.
Yeah. So there you go.
Wow.
Watch this space.
Oh, this could be big news.
This could be. I had no intention of buying a car or even none at all. But yes,
no, that wasn't on the cards at all. But only the other day you were talking about you want to get the Volvo up over 200,000 and then probably replace it with an electric something or other. And
200 is a big deal in that car, and I'm having it.
Yes, have 200, then electric.
It's one of those things. I just like the world to calm down.
Yes.
I'd like someone to make some microchips, and I'd like second-hand car prices to knob off.
Yeah, well, we'd all like that.
Yeah. Then I'm much more in the market. But this one just seems too good to be true at the moment to not have a little poke.
Well, I think if you can do a deal before it goes on the market, and get one that needs a little bit of work but isn't, completely.
It's not ruinous, no.
Not beyond hope. Yeah, that could be a really good.
Hundreds of meters away.
Yeah, well, that's handy too. Yes, you've not got an arduous. The collection caper is not going to be.
I could push it home.
Yes,
that close.
Well, hopefully you won't have to.
No, I mean mechanically, it could do with the service, but it runs. It's fine.
Yeah, runs and drives. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, you do keep us posted on that.
I will. And the fact that even Kaylee has said, "Do you think we should buy it?" And I said, "Well, yes."
Oh, if you've got that from the other half, you're halfway there, aren't you?
I've given her the article, so she sees the pound signs, which is fine if that's what sells it.
Oh, it doesn't. The reason doesn't matter. No. Oh, this is very interesting. Right. Yes. Well, keep us posted.
I will do. Yep, most definitely.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.